Hello everyone, welcome to a video of a trip that I did back in 2018 with my wife to Lonesome Peak up in Montana. It's just above the border. Most of the hike is in Wyoming. I had done it twice before. This trip was kind of fun because it was Rachel's first time up. It was a really cool trip to do. Still fairly early in the season. We were about mid-July, so there's definitely a lot of snow left on the mountain itself. So the beer that I'm drinking today is the Wyoming Pale Ale from Wind River Brewing down in Pinedale. I first discovered this beer on a trip with my friend Bob back in 2012, I believe it was, maybe after that, 2014 maybe. But it's a really cool beer. I'm usually into IPAs that aren't as heavy on the malt side, and this one has a little bit bigger of a malt body to it. The Wind River Brewing site describes it as an imperial pale they said it's got a complex hop profile, and it definitely does. A lot of really malty IPAs cover up the hops, and for me, IPAs are all about the hops. So this beer has been a favorite of mine for a long time. The other thing I like about it is the can has Harrower Peak, also known by most mountaineers as Ellingwood, which is up in Indian Basin in the Wind River Range. The first time I ever had this beer was the trip when we climbed this peak, so it's definitely a sentimental beer for me. Very, very tasty. I recommend you try it if you're ever in the Pinedale area or are in Wyoming and see it in cans. So my wife and I took this beer on this trip, and you'll see later on in the videos and pictures, we buried it in a snowbank and to keep it cold while we cooked dinner, and then it hit the spot after the day of hiking. So what we'll do first is get into, just kind of show you on the map where the trip went. You start at the Island Lake Trailhead just east of the Top of the World store up on the Beartooth Highway. And very early on in the trip, you have a little stream crossing. You have to take your boots off for it if you don't want soggy shoes. And then you kind of go around the west side of Island Lake, and then go around the west side of Night Lake afterwards. They're both about the same size. And then you keep heading kind of northwest, and then right before you would drop down the hill to Beauty Lake, which is a gorgeous lake as well, you take kind of it's not marked on the map I have, but you take a trail pretty much straight north that takes you around the east side of Becker Lake. And we camped just on the north end of Becker Lake. Not a huge long hike in, it's only a few miles. Fairly level. This is a great trailhead because you don't have to head uphill for a while. And it was a really gorgeous sunset, as you'll see in the pictures. And then the next morning we climbed Lonesome, which is aptly named. It's a very prominent mountain. You see it from all over that area, and it's got just gorgeous views of lakes and everything from the top. It's not that far to the summit, but it is pretty steep. You have to kind of find some weaknesses in the sides of it to scramble up to places where you can get up. You kind of go up a class 2 boulder scramble, and then the actual summit that's marked on the map at 11,399 is not the summit. You have to keep going a little bit northwest of there. There's a contour line just above 11,400. That's the actual summit. So it's a fairly quick climb. We made it back to camp by 11 that second day, and then headed back to the car. And then we were in Red Lodge having a meal and some beer at Sam's Tap Room at Red Lodge Ales, which was also fantastic. So a round trip of this is between 10 and 11 miles, probably somewhere around 2,000 to 2,500 vertical gain. So it's not a super long trip. It's a good one just to go out and see the Beartooths. They're a gorgeous mountain range. So this trip was interesting. We got to the trailhead and getting my boots on and getting all ready to hoist the pack up, and I realized I had left my hat. I usually hike with a big floppy brimmed hat, and it was nowhere to be found. So I was like, well, I guess I'm in for a good sunburn. So I did put as much sunscreen on as I could, but I was pretty red by the time I got back to the car the next day. It's the only time ever in 12 years that I have forgotten the hat. It's usually the first thing I pack. We also were trying a new water filter on this trip. We did the Catadyne 10-liter gravity flow filter, which you hang up and it filters out the bottom. And it's a great filter. We both have used it on many trips. Our only complaint with it is it definitely the stream slows to a crawl if you go on like a 3, 4, or 5 day trip. By day 4, it's painful getting that water to fill. So. But you know, it is a good one to just be able to have like a faucet at camp. It's a good one. So here's pictures and a couple little videos from this trip. I didn't take a lot of videos, but hopefully enjoy this video / picture diary of our Lonesome Peak climb.
Hello! It is our night 1 camp, our only night camp near Becker Lake, which you can see over there. It's quite beautiful. And we have the very end of Spirit Mountains Ridge coming down here. Albino Lake is up there. And then we'll be headed up in that general direction tomorrow to climb Lonesome Peak. So yeah, I'll show you around camp. It's pretty awesome. First and foremost, we have the beer fridge and the tent, of course. Not too bad. We also have Rachel cooking.
Hi.
She's making, what do we call this? It's rice and barley and vegetables and potatoes and spices and wild rice and peppers and yeah, lots of veggies. So, and our new fun thing for this trip is our gravity flow water filter, which you just fill up in the creek. You set it there and you have fresh water whenever you want it. It's the best invention ever. And we were able to get about 6 liters of water in about the same amount of time it would have taken us to filter probably, I don't know, 1 with our other system. So, so anyway, we're gonna eat dinner. Have a good night. Rachel is cutting a path of steps up the snowbank, which is solid ice. It's long, tedious work. She's doing an awesome job. Almost there. Almost there, Rachel! Almost there!
Hello again. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that little video of our trip up Lonesome Peak. If you enjoyed what you see, click the sub button, hit that like button, and thank you so much for watching. Cheers!